Thrilled to be able to talk with Brian Dawkins today, 9-time Pro Bowler, 7 times with the Eagles, a member of the Eagles Hall of Fame, and of course now a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Doc, I loved your career, loved your Hall of Fame speech. So much love you had for Eagles fans taking time, paying the money to come and see you that day. I got to ask you though, did the guy eating the horse poop, did he take it too far, or did he actually raise the bar of the Philly fan? What would you say?
Man, ain't nowhere in the world, Jack. I can't dig that ever. I don't care. I can't dig that at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I still love Eagles fans to death, but I can't dig that one.
Have you watched back your Hall of Fame speech?
Have I watched it?
Yes.
I've watched clips of it. Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I still can't believe that was me.
I mean, it was amazing, and you went. You talked about depression and suicidal thoughts, and you're in a huge transition. I think just a lot of people can relate to sort of the battle in life from there. As far as like just being that vulnerable in front of that many people and talking about it, how did you get yourself comfortable to do that?
Well, and that is where I am spiritually. There's something that I've overcome, and something that that I have shared with others. To help them in their walks, whether it be teammates, whether it be friends, whether it be people I've never met before but have a deep conversation with all of a sudden because of circumstances or whatever the case may be. And the way that I guess I see it is that it's no different from having that conversation with one person if you're having it with 30,000. It's still the conversation that someone needs to hear. It's still the conversation that can possibly bless somebody to prevent them from doing something that would forever change their family's trajectory. So, I just felt, again, led from my heart that this is something that I'm going to say, that I'm going to share from me, and prayerfully it's going to help people and help others persevere through what they're going through.
And you said in the speech that football is what you did. It's not who you are. And this is a big transition that all players have to make coming from playing to what they're going to do next. And what's been the biggest challenge for you so far? Not to have that purpose to wake up, I'm going to get myself in shape, I'm going to lift weights, I'm going to be ready for the next game. How have you handled the challenge? What's been the biggest part for you?
Well, like for me, like working out is it's my life. It's a lifestyle for me. I work out. I didn't work out because I needed to work out to play football. I worked out because I like to work out. So that's never been an issue for me. I think the thing that I wanted to do was find the thing that I was like called to do. Like what was my next purpose? I felt that at that time, the game of football blessed me to have the voice that I have today to utilize the things that I've gone through to bless others. So there was a purpose behind everything that I did. That's why I said, even when I was playing, I was still blessing people with the things that I was going through at that time, just not as openly as I'm doing it now. And so, life after football for me has been a constant, not fight, but a constant voice inside of me telling me not to settle. Don't settle. Don't settle. And that's how it was as a player. Don't settle. All pro is good. Why not, defensive player of the year? Why not, if you're just Pro Bowl, why not multiple Pro Bowls? So I've always been that way as a player. Life after football is no different. Not to settle, not to settle for things. If this job, as I was doing ESPN even, I knew I was supposed to be doing something more than that. Something, don't settle. So I was blessed to be an executive for the Eagles for 2 years. And even then, at the end of that year, the second year, which was the Super Bowl year, it was like, don't settle. There's something else I need you to do, something you're supposed to be doing more than what you're doing. So I'm always listening to that voice of not getting stagnant, I don't want to be stagnant. I don't ever want to be stagnant in my life. When you have stagnation in water, what happens? Toxins happen. And so I'm always constantly trying to grow in an area. And then when I don't, that voice inside of me will begin to poke at me and punch at me to make sure that I get back moving.
Do you know what you want to do right now, or are you still sort of in the sort?
I'll be starting my own company and my own nonprofit organization here coming here soon. Brian Dawkins Ventures and the Brian Dawkins Catalyst Increase Foundation. And so, those things are basically to bless people with increase, man. It's to bless people with hope. It's to give them, people where I grew up, a different viewpoint of life, potentially for them, through different grants and different things that we'll do with the company and the resources that we have coming in. And it's not just where I grew up and did some of the other different places that I've been. So those are the things that we're working on behind the scenes right now. I can't wait to unleash that.
That's awesome. And one of your messages: keep moving, don't get stuck. We think that we're incapable. I mean, that's just, I think everyone can again relate to that. And what's your strategy, Brian, when people come to you and say, Doc, I'm stuck here. I need your help. I don't know how I'm ever going to get out of this. What do you tell people like that? I know that you've been in that spot yourself.
Yeah, like the thing that I would tell them first of all is that if you believe that you can't get out of it, if you continue to tell yourself that, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to be able to. So the first thing that you have to do is change that mindset, that this is a temporary thing. For everything, there's a season. So this is just a season in my life that I'm going through what I'm going through. Now, the thing that is different in this conversation that we're having is that next step is different for everybody, because that thing that they need to move to the next thing is already inside of them, and it's different for everybody. Mm-hmm. Some people it's a family thing. Some people it's an emotional thing. Some people it could be a purposeful thing. Like there's different things that move and motivate different people. So I can't just cookie cutter say, hey, this is what you do, it'll fix you. No, it doesn't work like that. So for that individual has to have an understanding or start to pray about, like, what do I really want to do in this life? Like, what is my purpose? What are my gifts, first of all? Have I even identified the things that I do well, that I love to do, the things that I would love to do without getting paid? Like, what would I do with that? What is that in me? And then from there, begin to see if that's an avenue that you can go down and you can start having conversations with people in different fields to see if that's something that you want to do. And so in that time frame, there's going to be some time that you will have to settle for something. That'll be one of the times that you may have to settle, but I try not to settle for long. Settle for a little while until you find out that next step. And once you find that, put that work in the process. It may be a little stringent for a little while until you go to that next level. So, I mean, I know I just went through that real quickly, but like those are the kind of conversations that I have with people from time to time to get them to see outside of where they are. It's hard for people to see outside of the darkness. It's hard for them to see outside of the circumstances that they sit in. But just around the corner is that ability to have that greatness, that great feeling, that great, that next idea that's going to catapult you to that next thing in your life. It's right around the corner, but fear, doubt, and hopelessness is continue to speak in your ear and tell you can't do it, so you continue to sit in the darkness. And that's that stagnation, that's that toxicity that rots the brain. And so you begin to not even have those dreams, imaginations that you once did. So again, got to get rid of that toxicity, that negative self-talk. Got to get rid of it. Got to begin to motivate yourself sometimes.
Doc, it's awesome what you're doing. It's great to talk to you. I want to ask you before I know you're short on time here. What's your reaction to Nike making Colin Kaepernick the face of their 30th anniversary of the Just Do It campaign? I'm sure you got some thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's surprising. It's very controversial in a lot of respects, and a lot of times when you have someone, a company like that, they look out for the bottom line more than they do anything else. Not Nike. I'm not saying that they always do that, but I'm just talking about big companies sometimes.
Of course.
if you look at if you can take away your feelings, which is hard to do, and just look at the conversation that he got started. Now, you may not agree with some of the way he started it off, but the conversation that he got started is still in the forefront. And so many players have moved from just protesting to actually moving. I'm speaking specifically even here in Philadelphia with Malcolm and Torrey Smith and what they've done, going to Capitol Hill and having conversations about social justice and reform in the system. That's what he started. So again, you may not have agreed with some of the things how the way he did it or things of that nature, but the conversations that are being had on a grander scale than they ever have been to this point is a positive thing. It's a very positive thing, and there are going to be a lot of positive outcomes from those individuals who are not just in public protesting, who are behind the scenes having conversations, sitting down with law enforcement officers and really understanding the plight both ways. So that's communication, and the only way that you can have any change is if you communicate. And I think a lot of communications are being had, even though you have people on the outside who only want to deal with their emotions.
Is there anything more in your mind, like if you were a player today, Doc, is there anything more the players can do to help support Colin or Eric Reed, who clearly deserve jobs in the league but don't have them?
That's a good question, and I don't know the answer to that. I think the way that this thing is set up, that him going through the court process to see if he can get something done that way, probably is the best way. Because I don't know how you could go about doing anything other than that.
Yeah. So you're working with Verizon today. Verizon Up. Why have you partnered with Verizon, Doc?
Yeah. So you got me so far off the path with that last thing that we went through.
Yeah.
But no, I think one of the things that I was blessed to be able to do in teaming up with them is to understand what they're trying to do and what they're trying to help fans get a better understanding of what is possible when you join up with them. So you go to my Verizon app, and you can check out some of the things that you'll be able to accomplish, creating memories for yourself and your family. One of them this week is you'll get a chance to meet me. People will get a chance to meet me who've already done this. They'll get a chance to meet Breck Selleck. They'll also get a chance to play flag football with Randall Cunningham. So those are opportunities that you're creating for you and your family that you would not be able to. But it's not just that. You're able to go to different concerts and sit in some of the better seats to be able to get up and close to some of the artists that you'll see on stage for even the kickoff concert. So there's a lot of things that they have going on that it would behoove you. I would use that behoove word to go check them out, especially if you love the game of football the way that I love it.
Doc, bottom line, great to talk to you. 10-second answer on this. If you could be any superhero, we just put out our NFL preview, and everyone's a superhero.
Wolverine.
Yeah, and what would you do with those powers?
Oh, do my powers? The powers?
Yeah, I give you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What do you got?
That's a good one. You stumped me on that one.
They'd be endless, basically, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, look, you know Wolverine's powers, right?
Sure.
He heals himself. He has a keen ability to track down things. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he has the claws that can, to come out. But I love his. I think his personality more than anything else. Yeah. He's a go-getter. He doesn't back down from battles, and that's one of the things I loved about him the most.
Yeah. You never did in your career and on your rise up. Doc, great to talk to you today. I appreciate your time.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.